Good morning.
Will you please start with the team you've had at the Lincoln game?
Well, I believe that we have two uncertainties. Is Welbeck were to come off after the warm-up for sickness, and the other one is he will be on the day of a game. Couldn't turn up as well for the same problem. Everybody else, I think, should be available.
Mesut Ozil was on the bench, of course, on Tuesday. Do you expect him to be fully fit now for the weekend?
I haven't decided yet. He still felt not too well after the game. And I will see in training how he feels, and I haven't decided about the team who will start the game on Saturday.
In terms of your team selection for the Lincoln game, during the FA Cup run, you've rotated your side, you've rotated your squad a bit. Do you expect to continue in that same vein on Saturday?
Well, I always decided to play the team who has a good chance to qualify, and I will continue to do that, of course.
And when you look back at the Bayern game on Tuesday, is it hard to assess it objectively, considering your unhappiness over the decision?
No, it's easy for me to assess the game, because we watch it again and analyze it, and we have all the information available to analyze the game. And I think overall, as long as we were 11 against 11, we produced a top-level performance. And after that, of course, it became impossible for us to have a chance to qualify. I think at the start of the game, everybody said there is 1% chance. During the game, we pushed it up to 30%, and after that, when Koscielny was sent off, it came down to 0, what is understandable. Questions it raises as much. I think we failed in the first game in the second half. As much, I think, in this game we produced the expected performance.
Awesome, thanks for your time. Just briefly going back to that availability news, Welbeck and Iwobi join Ozil in what you would call a sickness. Is there a sickness bug in the camp?
It's possible at the moment, yes. We have a little problem on that front. I don't know. Is it a bug or not? But Iwobi on the morning of the game, they called me cannot play, and Welbeck at 5 o'clock in the afternoon felt sick. We still tried to play him, but could be a bug, I don't know.
What are you doing to make sure it doesn't hit other players? How are you making sure?
Look, that's the doctors to do their job, you know. I have enough to do.
Well, you do indeed. Does last night's fight back by Barcelona make you even more frustrated about your result?
No. Last night, fight back has shown again the importance of two main factors of this kind of games is the referee and the very big players. That sums it up.
The protest didn't really develop, did it, in the week? The fans' protest, I think 100 or 200 turned up. Do you think that sums up the extent of the fans' concerns at the moment?
Look, I don't know. It's difficult for me to judge. I want our fans. I work very hard for 20 years to make our fans happy. And when we lose the games, I understand they are not, and I don't want to judge that. I'm not capable to. I live in my daily work with my complete commitment. After that, I said many times, you have to accept different opinions.
Will that kind of protest, will the opinion of the fans, whether it's a majority or a minority, have any influence at all on you when you announce your decision about your future?
Yes. Of course, you consider everything.
It will make it more likely that you...
It will not be the most important factor, but you consider, of course.
And I know you've said time and again, and I'm sorry to bring it up again, you will announce your decision in the summer, but privately, inside yourself, have you made that decision already?
No, my decision is to focus on the next game and make absolutely sure that we respond well on Saturday.
So, suggestions you've told the players what you're going to do are nonsense?
Yes.
Can I ask you about Theo's comment? He's always very honest and talks to the media in a good way. He's very intelligent. guy. He says he's seen things around the training ground that he hasn't seen before in terms of arguments. What do you say about that?
No, I think there's a lot has been said about that, but it's exaggerated. I think we have a good, united group, determined group. When you go through disappointing results, you have always some disagreements. But overall, I think the best way to respond is always the game and to show how united and determined we are. And overall, I believe that on that front we are. I don't worry, and even in our job you have to be competitive, and competitiveness doesn't mean love always. It is about performing, and sometimes the fact that they are in the past, it's not the team who loves each other the most that are the best on the football pitch. Not always.
Todd, to keep it short, because there's a lot of people here, so I've got two more short ones. Andreas Jonker's obviously left, head of the academy. It would, I guess, reflect your involvement still and your commitment to the future if you were involved in finding his replacement. Are you involved in that?
Yeah.
Anyone in mind?
We have many candidates, and we have a bit time now to choose the best one. Overall, I think that's a process where we have started. Ideally, you want people with the Arsenal spirit because we have special values here, and I think could it be people with who reflect well our values? Of course, would be even better.
And final one from me. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain says he wants to leave in the summer. He feels frustrated and taken for granted.
I haven't seen that. I don't know. I think I'm surprised by that because I believe that he has been developed well. He's developing well at the moment and is given his chance. And overall, when you are somewhere, you have to want to be there first. After, the only thing I can say is personally I rate him highly, and I think I show that in the way I kept faith in him even when he was a lot injured, and overall I think he's developing very well at the moment.
So on balance, you think he and you will be here next season?
Sorry?
Do you think he and you will be here next season?
Look, I personally wish that he stays at the club because I think he's a very promising player who has developed very well and who looks to me as well to have the values that we rate at this club.
Arsene, you're a legend at this club, most successful manager in the club's history, but is there a danger now that by staying for too long, that legacy could be tainted and you'd be remembered for failure instead of success?
Look, I don't work for my image, I work for this club and with full commitment, and that's what I do. After how will I be judged in one way or the other? It's not too much my problem, but I think I've shown that since I'm here that I'm, first of all, I love this club, that I'm loyal to this club, and that I make the right decisions for this club, and I will continue to do that. Of course, in respecting the values that I think are vital for me, and if I cannot do that, I will not be here.
Is it fair to assume that that dreadful defeat against Bayern Munich has made it more likely this will be your last season?
No, the defeat against Bayern Munich, I think, as I just explained to you, it's in the first game that we failed. In the second game, I think we had a good performance and we were a bit unlucky with the decisions of the referee, and that will not be a decider. We have seen last night that at that level can be very quick, again, go one way or the other, and that as well you have to accept. I looked a little bit at the Champions League history, and I think we played in the last 7 years, we played 6 times against Barcelona or Bayern Munich, who are the two best teams in Europe. you have to take that into considerations as well. In the last 9 years, we're only one time the worst team performing in the Champions League in England. So overall, of course, when you're present at that level, you can be punished as well. And basically, there are many teams who are not there. They cannot be punished, you know.
You're seriously saying you might be here next season?
I do not want to speak about always the same matter, you know. What is for me important is football games, perform in football as long as you are somewhere, and not focus too much on all the rest.
Arsene, do you feel that anything is affecting the players at the moment?
No, I think we had a top level performance in the game against Bayern, and that it's part of a game that things didn't go for us, but overall I think no.
The FA Cup, would that be a shining light for you at this moment in time?
The FA Cup is the next game, and the next game, of course, when you have a disappointment like we had one, is important.
But would you feel that it's a game that really you can't win? It's Lincoln City, people are expecting you to beat them.
We are favourite, and but when you're in a big club, you are favourite 90% of the time, and you have to deal with that.
It isn't going to be the game that relieves any pressure, though, in particular. Do you think that's going to be the next Premier League match?
Look, it's the next game, and in the next game, people expect us to win, so there is a pressure there, yes, of course.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Arsene.
We can take the microphones out, please.